went to a basketball game, and I saw this beautiful scoreboard thing that they had for the scorer's desk with the name Holy Cross on it. And I said to my kids, I said, I think when I become principal, I'm gonna get one of those for our gym. And they looked at me like, what do you mean you're gonna be principal? I said, well, I think I am. And that was the end of it. For 30 years that I was an administrator, I had the privilege of representing Holy Cross, which is the greatest honor of my public life. To work every day with the people I worked with was unbelievable. My assistant principals, my presidents, my principals ahead of me, they let me be crazy. You've heard some of this stuff tonight. I always felt bad for Terry Tarpey and for Brian Batson, who replaced me as dean, because I couldn't stay out of the office. It was like my blood, and I felt bad for them. And I also had the privilege of learning every day for all those years working for Brother Stephen. Every day I learned something new about being a good administrator from Brother Stephen Lamondola. Brother, thank you very much. Brother, thank you. I would ask, I would ask that anybody who has ever worked in this building in any capacity, please stand and get a nice ovation from everybody. But most of all, working with the adults is great. That's why I kind of made sure the adults stayed like in one section so I could see them and everything. But most of all, I want to thank all those students. We always use the phrase, and we've used it over the years, you come in as boys, you grow as brothers, and you leave as Holy Cross men.
Yeah, amen, Jim.
Well, a couple of years ago, we have this thing at graduation where if your father's a graduate, you get to come up on stage with your dad. Your dad comes up on stage with you when you graduate. It's part of our tradition theme. And there was a graduate from the class of 73, whom so many in here know, named Joe Bosco. And Joe Bosco barely carried him up, they carried him up on the stage to see his son get his diploma that day. And we went, a couple of weeks later, Joe passed, and when we went to the church, all BS over here, a kid comes out to me afterwards and he sees the tremendous turnout of graduates from the classes that Joe was here with, and also from the current students that are here. And he looks at me and he goes, now I know what it means to be a Holy Cross man. You hammered that into our heads from when I first walked in the door, that there's something special about us, that we're not prep, we're not Malloy. Sorry, Brother Leonard. We're not prep, we're not Malloy. We are who we are Cross. And that stuck with me. It's very important because that, to me, that was verification for what we were teaching every day. If I had you in class, that was a trip, okay? Whether you were brilliant like Paul Yagusha, or you would believe anything in the world I told you in the classroom. And I created some stories for those kids, and they would just say, yeah, okay. Whether I coached you in the gym, which in those days was cold as hell in the morning, we used to come in with 27 pairs of sweatpants on, and everything because it was so cold in here. Or who I might have dealt with when I was dean or principal. If you are coming to Holy Cross for the first time tonight, and you're a significant other to a Holy Cross graduate, you heard some stuff tonight said that you probably said that couldn't possibly be true.
100%.
Okay? Some of it was a little stretched here tonight. Some of it got a little twisted dates. But the basic theme was the same.
It's on a chair.
If I changed you to Jones Beach, because Brother James told me go get them when they all go to school one day.
Yeah.
Whether you were part of Cairo's BBG, which stood for Big Bag Guidos in White Summer, who had a running war with OFB from Bound Park, which meant Out for Blood. And the day I went to the beach to get them, there was a kid there that day who wasn't part of them. And he looks at me as I come down the beach, and I'm saying to these guys, let's go, we're going in there, we're going back to school, as they got their coolers and their bathing suits and everything. And I said, we're going back to school, and this guy jumps up and he goes, he's not the truant officer, let's cut the mother, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it's in the back.
And my guys are looking at me, going, no, he's cool, it's all right, it's all right. They saved my life that day. And the story about the machine, Joe was in there, right, Joe? It was the attendance machine, and we printed out. But Jimmy Kerr sent the kid down one time because the rumor was the kid was smoking. And the kid comes down, he puts his hand on it, and I plug the thing in, he goes, beep, 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 beep. And the kid says, oh, I know what it was, I couldn't get it to work. I couldn't get it to work. And the kid looks at me and he goes, does that, I might have been smoking last night, but not this morning. So the kid goes back up to Kerr's class and he says to Kerr, I passed the nicotine test. Kerr says, she's got this machine that measures whether or not. Chimente, where's the Valley Stream guys, Chimente? How about the time the Valley Stream guys decided to convince the Valley Stream bus driver to take them to the St. Patrick's Day Parade? You guys got busted and he got fired.